Greetings, gang. Yeah, we're in tight spaces today. We're going to do this video from my laundry room. How about that for fun? All right, so reason for this one is one of the most common emails I get is, what solar system do I need? What battery backup system I need? Yada yada. And my first question to everybody is, what do you want to do with it? Okay. Now, you know me, I've showed you so many different setups and everything that, from small generators to big generators to my whole home setup, that's tied into my breaker box, everything. Okay. Not everybody needs the same thing. All of us have different setups in our house. Okay. What we need to run, what we don't. I mean, if you live in the suburbs or whatever, you're on city water. You don't need to run a well pump, okay? Or, most of your house runs on propane or natural gas or whatever. You don't need certain, bigger setup, okay? So what do you want to do? Now, doesn't mean that there aren't ideas for everybody, and none of them fit. You guys have heard me say a million times, there is no one size fits all to prepping. Okay. So I try to show you all the different options for what different people may be interested in. Okay. What I want to show you today is a setup for somebody that wants to run 240 in their house. Okay. So whether they have a well pump, or an electric stove, electric oven, maybe a small HVAC system, or in my case, a dryer. That's what I'm going to show you me testing it on, for the simple reason is I'm not going to disassemble my whole home setup to run it. So I figure, okay, I put the pieces together to work a dryer, which is on 240, okay? So for most everything on the market right now, in order to run 240 volt, you need two generators. Now, a lot of you guys will remember me showing you the Mango E. I did this video maybe about 9 months ago. It is a very good generator. It is the whole touch screen, everything. It basically does anything that the rest of them do. It's a good product. Okay. You can go back and watch that video if you want, or there's other videos. I mean, you can go watch Hobotech, or other people have reviewed the video as well. It's a good brand generator. Now, however, to run 240, what do you want to do? Well, there's different ways to do it. Maybe you don't want to have a setup like mine where it is plugged into your breaker box. Maybe you just have a transfer switch in your house, a generator hookup where you can go hook up your gas generator to your house, throw one switch, to cut the power from the grid and run off a generator power. Okay, now we're talking about something like this. And again, no offense to gas generators. I've got a gas generator, no question. However, gas ain't always available. Okay, or at least an SHDF gas isn't going to be available unless we're all running around looking for abandoned cars and we've got a screwdriver and a bucket and we're going to start popping gas tanks. Okay, don't do that now. Just saying. Okay, so could you run out of gas? Yes, you're going to certainly want to conserve your gasoline as much as possible, because it is, to use their term, in an SHTF situation, maybe it's not a renewable resource. The sunlight, of course, sun's coming up tomorrow. I mean, and if the sun doesn't come up tomorrow, none of this matters. We don't need to prep. Okay, we're all gone. So how can we run this? Okay, to run 240. Like I said, I'm testing it on my dryer because it's the only thing I have that's 240 that's not hooked into my main panel. Okay, my dryer was not a critical circuit for me to run. I can run a clothesline. So, but I want to show you how this works. That's the catch. Okay. So in order to do 240 on this, got to have two generators. 1, 2. Okay. If you can see here, this cable, okay, This is their E-Link cable. This is connecting the two generators together. Real simple stuff, not hard. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to need is this. And this is their M socket, as they call it. Okay. And this is what I'm going to use to connect the two generators together. And if you can see on here, at this point I can plug in 240 volt. You know, whether it's my HVAC system, whether it's my oven, whatever I need to be, my dryer. Okay. Now, of course, that means, is your HVAC system hardwired, like most of them are, or is it a plug? Okay, it's going to need to be a plug. This is why we get to me saying the point of, if you've got a transfer switch in a house, here's where you connect the cord from here to your transfer switch, your input for the house, throw that switch, and poof, now you're running off of generator power. So here's the next part. Okay, my dryer plug, I don't even know if you can see it, is a 4-prong plug. Okay, you know, it's got your ground, it's got your two 120s in it, and your hot plug. Okay, it's a completely different plug than this. Not going to fit. So I went on Amazon and I found a slave cable, a jumper cable, okay, which will convert my dryer plug, which is the male version that would go into the female of this, to the male version here, which then plugs into that. Okay, so there's that step. This is not difficult, guys. This took me 2 minutes to put together. It's going to take longer in the video. All right, so let's put this up here out of the way. Then I've got the two cords from the M socket that plug into the 30 amp outlet here in each generator. 1, 2. This is real difficult, isn't it? Okay. Let me stand up and I will show you what's going on over here, but I'll move the camera, so hang tight. All right, so now you're looking for the ceiling on down, basically. There's that yellow cord into the M socket. Here's my cord from my dryer. Again, plugged in. Done. Okay? That's literally, guys, those are the connections. All right, so we are all connected. I'm on my AC load here. Like I said, touch screen, so if I wanted to change it to DC, I could. I can shut off the DC there. We're on AC. Watch. I'm running my dryer off of generators. Now, you're not going to be able to see this up close, but it is pulling right now 2,713 watts from the top one and 2,489 from the second one. So I mean, we're pulling 5,100 watts out of these two. Okay? And I'm running an electric dryer. This works. Just wanted to show you this point. Shut it off here. And I'm going to move back where you can see me. There we go. Okay. So, this is how simple it can be to hook up 240 to your house. Does this fit for everybody? No. Okay. Not even going to pretend that it does. But it's a good unit. It's a very good unit. Okay. It's a very affordable unit. The cable I had to buy from Amazon cost me a whopping 26 bucks, okay, to do my adapter, so not a big deal there. The M socket and the generators, I'll post what the current deal prices are on those, and you can take a look for yourself. Moving back to the table. Neat little setup, huh? Okay, so now let's figure that you want to hook this to your whole house. And you don't need to go through a whole massive panel or anything like that, like I've got set up for separate circuits or whatever, where it's an automatic flip. Power goes out and my power in milliseconds comes on with my whole home setup. Let's say you don't need something like that. You're willing to take a couple of minutes and go out and set up what I just showed you. But rather than plug it into your dryer, you want to plug it into your whole house. This is how simple this is, okay? So take a look at this picture. You probably have one of these, or at least might, already on your house, an inlet switch, okay? If you can plug into this, now you can run your whole house, including 240, so again, your HVAC system, or your well pump, or if you've got an electric stove, or your dryer, okay, you can run your whole house in this. If you don't have one of these, you can get an electrician to install one. Again, it's not going to be rocket science. I'm not sure, but you might even be able to have one installed inside the house to do it this way. That would be something to check an electrician. I don't know codes and everything like that for everywhere. Obviously you can't run a gas generator in the house, but you can run these in the house, of course, so having that inlet switch inside the house is great. You just go into the utility room or whatever, plug it in, and you're all set. Okay. So yeah, you'd have to go make these connections in the dark, so hence having a flashlight. But pretty simple stuff there. Okay. So then we take a look at cost. Is this affordable? Okay. So we look at kind of why would I want to do this? All right, so let's take a look at the chargeability of these, the Mango E, for example. To charge each one of those generators off AC power, which you should keep your generators charged all the time, okay, 1.5 hours. It's a fast charge system. We're good there, okay? Works with your standard solar panels, so any of the portable solar panels that I've showed you that I like, the 12 C-band ones, you can hook those up. If you've got rooftop solar, you've got a solar array that you built in the backyard, whatever. So you got multiple ways to charge this, no problem. Okay. One of the big catches for this, especially what we all went through a couple of weeks ago, is if you want to have this out near, say, your garage or whatever, somewhere to store these things. The Mango E has cold resistance. It will not lose charge down to 4 below Fahrenheit. Okay, and think of all those stories that we've heard about EVs and stuff like that. Oh, it got cold out and they don't last. Okay, well, you're not going to keep this out in the snow, but let's say you're in Alaska or you're in International Falls, Minnesota or something. 4 below, yeah, that happens. Even in your garage, you can still maintain the charge in these, right? Good deal there. Now, size-wise, each one of those generators is 3.5 kilowatts, okay? So means combined between the two of them, I've got 7,000 kilowatts. That's not going to be enough to run your HVAC system and your heat overnight or anything, okay? Not even going to pretend that. They are expandable. You can put 2 more batteries on top of each one of them and get this up to a total system of 14,000 kilowatts, which is going to be plenty to run your well pump, your lights, etc., etc., etc. Remember what I told you about mine, and my system's 21 kilowatts. So if you had all the batteries, this would be, if you got it to max size, 14,000, would be 2/3 the size of the system I had. If I ran using my normal now electricity, okay, so lights on, computer charging, etc., etc., my electric water heater, my well pump, all the lights in my house, all the outlets, etc., etc., I was able to run my system on 21 kilowatts for a full day using normal time electricity. When I took off my electric water heater, my 21 kW system ran my house for 3 days with no charge coming, or 4 days with no input at all. Okay, that was pretty impressive because obviously you're going to have some sort of input constantly in an SHTF situation or in a power outage, whatever. You're going to want to have some input. The sun's still coming up. So if this one's 2/3 the size, 2/3 of 4 days is about 2 3/4 days. Okay. Now, y'all know I paid $17,000 for my system by the time all was said and done. Let's get into cost. Okay, and this is where for a smaller home, for an RV, your bug out RV, for if you live in a mobile home, for example, something like this would work. You don't have as many circuits to run. However, it's going to... Okay, back to where we go. Nothing like losing the data in front of you as you were doing something. All right, so the cost in one of these. Now, MSRP on each one of these generators is $4,250. Okay, so you get 2 generators. That's $8,500. The M panel costs you another $250. You're talking $8,750 at this point. Maybe you have to buy the slave cable, maybe not. Maybe you need an electrician in to put an inlet box, whatever. So, it gets a little expensive. Well, Mango's got a hell of a deal going on in February here, okay, where they've cut the price of these generators to $22.99. Now we're talking cheap. So start doing the math. When you're talking 3.5 kilowatts at $2,299, what are we talking? 40 cents kilowatt, thereabouts? This is cheap, guys. Okay. So now think about this. If you want to get 240 running in your house, $22.99, get a second one, $4,600. Get the M panel there, $250, $4,850. At least for the equipment, you're talking under $5,000 to power your house. And of course, then you can expand it to double the size, okay, if you want to add the batteries to it. Don't forget that buying these things also gets you a 30% tax credit, okay? You write it right off your income tax. That's another $690 per unit. So at that point, you're bringing this down, the cost of this, by the time all is said and done, to about $1,600 per generator. You go look at pretty much anything else out there. What are you spending $1,600 for? That's a 2,000, maybe a 2,400 watt generator that is not expandable to 240. Yeah, so you're going to get 50% more power and twice the capability. Just saying. Up to you. Okay. So, is this right? At this price, this is a freaking steal, guys. Just saying. This is something definitely worth looking into if you can do it between the 40% off on price right now, then add the 30% tax credit, the expandability, and the ease of putting this together. If you're in the market and this is something that fits you, okay, your situation, go for it. Okay, it's not to run a monster house or anything like that. This is for your smaller homes. We'll run an entire house. So it'd be great for something if you're a mechanic or something working in your workshop, your garage. Think about this. Hooking a welder to this, yeah, that works. Okay. And you might have use for that, if you've got welding skills or whatever, because welding skills is going to be very necessary in SHTF. At least somebody in your mag. Here's a way to power it. Giving you that idea. All right, so as per normal, like we always do, we are going to give away one of these Mango E's. It will be done on tomorrow night's live stream, which is at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. It will be a must be present to win. So if you're interested in winning this, you do have to be on the live stream tomorrow night. In order to enter, you must live in the lower 48. Okay. Sorry, can't ship this to Alaska or Florida, Alaska, Hawaii, or Canada or anything. Got to live in the contiguous 48 states. Okay. So in a comment below this video and this video only, you need to have your state in which you live in, and let's see. Let's put, I don't know, I always got to put something fun here. Let me think about this. A vegetable that you plan on planting this year. Okay, let's do that. All right. Now, we'll draw, just like we always do, from the random comment picker tomorrow night on the live stream. The person will have 3 minutes to say that they are there, and they will win. I'm going to say this now so everybody knows. We have had this problem multiple times. You need to double check your comments and how you check on how you post on live stream. If your comment says Joe Smith under the comment, but when you go to a live stream, go check it today. Go to somebody else's live stream and see if your comments in the comments section shows as the same name as what the comment is. Okay? If it does not, you need to go fix it, and I will show you exactly what you're looking at. This is a picture of my homepage, okay? And you will see it says, and I'll highlight this here, okay? It says Pinball Preparedness. That is how I'm going to be comment. That's the name it'll use to comment for under a video. Then I'll look at this. This is the other part, and it says at Pinball Preparedness. That is where my comment on, that is the name my comment on a live stream will use. Okay. You need to make sure those match. Now, I know YouTube went and did something funky and started putting numbers behind everybody. Okay. And you can still go in and change that and take those numbers out. This is what you need. Just go into your settings and do it. Please do not email me and ask me how to do it. It's all in your Google settings. You can look up how to do it online. Okay, I'm not going to answer 1,000 emails on how to do this. If it says Joe Smith in the top one and Joe Smith 2345, I can look real quick and I'll make sure it's the same. Okay, but if it says Joe Smith as the top one and Bacon Prepper as the bottom one, no, it's not going to work. Make sure those match. That is your responsibility to do that, not mine. Okay. But this is one hell of a generator to get. It's a system that you can put together on the cheap that'll get you power. And if you're interested in winning one, be here tomorrow. Pinball out.